Well, hello there. This video was filmed in October and I'm just now doing the voiceover. Aren't I so prepared in life? Like, I'm so good at this. So, I've always wanted to cosplay my character in Final Fantasy XIV, but I decided this about 2 weeks before a convention, so I quickly put together a Miqo'te starting gear cosplay. So the first thing I worked on was the arm poofs, and I took a shirt that I already had that was equally poofy in the poofy region, and I just traced it to make a pattern. I cut 2 of them and sewed them together. She's so tiny. I then attached some elastic to the top of the sleeve so it would grip around my arm, and the bottom of the sleeve just had a single stitch in it, and I pulled it tight and tied it to keep a cinched shape, kind of. I then measured where I wanted the eyelets to go, and that's where the red string would go. This was a giant pain to try and get the eyelets in there, but it's okay, it was worth it because it turned out really cute. And then I laced the string through and I tied it on the inside. Wow. For the arm leather, I started off just practicing some stitches on a scrap piece of leather to kind of see what I wanted the stitch to look like and which stitch I liked best. So I went with like a medium zigzag. I think it made the edge look cool and it helped strengthen the sides a little bit. And I guess I lost the footage of me actually making the arm leathers, but I basically made a pattern out of masking tape and tinfoil on my arm, and then I drew out how I wanted the shape to be. I then sewed all the edges, and then I added Velcro to keep them actually on my arm. For the shirt, I just measured how long I wanted it to be and how long it should be to actually go around my chest, and I put it on some leathery fabric and I just cut it all out, and I folded in all the sides to make a nice little edge. My sewing machine has issues with this grippy pleather stuff, so I always use some like cheap hair oil to kind of oil the fabric, because I don't have like a walking presser foot. I just have to make sure to clean my machine really well after. And then for the little white shirt that's underneath, I just measured around my chest and I cut that out, and then I just cut a little slit in the middle and reinforced that with some zigzag stitches. Sorry for the color changing lights. I know that's probably really annoying, but I didn't realize that when I sped it up that it would be absolutely insane to look at. But for the chest harness, I traced out a pattern on some spare fabric and I put it on some leather that I had. It fits really well. Then I pinned the straps in place with my super helpful dress form that I got at Joann's. It's actually just a decorative one, but it works really well if I need like help putting my pieces together. Bean was apparently super interested in my giant roll of foam that I had. The little bag was kind of a pain to make because I had never made a bag before, but basically I cut out 2 rectangular pieces, 3 long pieces that would get sewn to the sides of the 2 rectangles, and then a triangular piece is like the closing part. I made this big enough to fit my phone so that I could just like throw my phone in there, and then it has a button to kind of close everything. And then I cut out a super long strap that connects from the front of the black pleather shirt to the back of the black pleather shirt, yes. And then I stitched the edges of it to give it more of a decorative look. For the skirt, first you make sure your cat lays on it for a really long time to kind of prep the fabric. And then I did a box pleat for this. I didn't really do a good job at showing how to do it, but basically you fold the fabric over to the right, pin it, and then like an inch in, or however long you'd like it to be, to the left, you just fold that under. But there are tons of tutorials on YouTube if that doesn't really make sense. I did that until the skirt was able to wrap around me. And I sewed a non-pleated plant. Why is that so hard to say? A non-pleated panel. Yes. A little over halfway the length of the skirt. And I sewed in a a zipper. Definitely did not need to do any adjusting to this skirt. This skirt went perfectly. Not really had to do a lot to it. I lied. Wow, yep, that's how that turned out. I check out all the little stains on my legs from my hair dye. I am a literal animal when it comes to dyeing my hair. Like, I am a tornado. It's insane. So for the ears, I have an actual ear tutorial on my channel if you would like to see that. So this blue ear is a tester that I did, and I get my fur from Fur Boutique on Etsy, and they are wonderful. I made a pattern and I cut it out of white and purple. And oh my god, look at those beans! I allowed a 1/4 inch allowance because the purple will be folded over. And I shaved them quite a bit, except for the tips, because I wanted more of like a lynx style look. For the inner part, I used Worbla instead of cardboard like I normally do. I didn't want these to lose their shape, so Worbla helps keep them in place quite a bit. I then glued the fur to the Worbla. I just used hot glue. And I should have put the wire in first, but I forgot because I'm a dummy dumb. But I secured the wire with hot glue and I wrapped it around the headband and angled it like super back. They have to be very angled. They're angled a very certain way. For the tail, I cut out a length of fur. I think the tail itself came to like 25, 27 inches or something like that. But I had to cut 2 lengths of the purple and I sewed them together to make it long enough. And I added a white tip to match the ears. And then I pinned the right sides together, making sure the pile is going the right way. So you want all of your fur going the right way, basically. And then I sewed the tail together in a tube. And you see how skinny it is? It sucked. I don't know why I made it so skinny. I should have made it thicker because turning it inside out was absolutely terrible. So for the little like armor decorations, I cut everything out of craft foam and EVA foam, and then I used my Dremel to smoothen the pieces out, and I used hot glue to attach the things to the other things. Yeah, wow. And I glued all the pieces to a giant piece of craft foam. That way they had a place to sit and hang out while I primed and painted them, because if you were to do this without doing that, they would fly everywhere and it would be terrible because these are really, really tiny pieces. So for the thigh highs, I traced out a pattern on my thigh, and then I just cut a giant diamond in it and strengthened the edges with some zigzag stitches. Then I finished the top edge with a simple seam. I then liquid stitched the white thigh high piece to the black thigh highs that I got off Amazon. I could have easily sewn them in, but like I'm lazy, so I didn't. And I then take my liquid stitch out and I attached all the little armor pieces. I do recommend E600 for gluing stuff together. I didn't have any at the time. I really did not realize how much of this footage I actually lost, but I filmed it back in October, so I'm very happy I have any of it at all. But I think it turned out really cute. I'm pretty happy with it. It photographs well, and I don't know, it was really cute. But yeah, thank you so much to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Adam Hunt, Ali R, Blue Panda, David Rosenbaum, Eric, Jim W, Linsu Cosplay, Merkitten, Robert Gallardo Jr., Ryan Craig, and Veldemir. You guys are wonderful and you make my life extra fun, but I hope everyone liked this video. Remember that making stuff is fun, and don't ever feel discouraged if something goes wrong. Learn from your mistakes and go do awesome creative things. Have a super awesome rest of the day, and I will see you guys next Friday. Bye!